Hello everyone, I'm Lynch Rapper and this is Grasshopper, and today we're going to be doing an album review. This is our first album review. It is of the album Razzmatazz by I Don't Know How, But They Found Me.
And so what we've done is we've taken very diligent notes on every song in the album. And we have gone through each of these and we've talked about it. And I mean, we've of course listened to this before than just now, but we listened to them and we are completely certain on our opinions, aren't we?
Yes, so we went through the entire album just now, no talking, so we could write down what we think about every song, and we didn't confide in each other because we are going to reveal our opinions along with you, and we're going to debate it and then come up with a rating for the album.
And also the other thing is, while we were going through, there are, 12 songs. Yes, 12 songs. And we have gone through and rated each song. So we're going to see some of these songs that are a bit more controversial between he and I are going to differ in ratings. So that'll be interesting to see us duke it out. So first off is Leave Me Alone. Now, Leave Me Alone is the first song in the album. And, I mean, I like the song. I believe it's the most popular one. It has that really nice microphone sound that Dallin likes to do with the whole band has done, like all the songs that they've made. I don't know exactly what set of plugins that he uses, but it makes it sound like it's from the 80s, right?
It's very cool.
Yeah,
I love 80s music.
Lots of, I don't know, tape delay, a special type of compressor, some reverb.
Maybe some overdrive.
I don't know, maybe.
Pretty edgy vocals maybe. Most of the time. Alright, hit me with your rating.
I said 7.9 out of 10.
Oh, you went like the small points. I only did like 0.5.
Well, no, just for a couple of them. Just for a couple.
Okay. So yours was what again?
7.9 out of 10. What'd you do?
8 out of 10.
Okay, I mean that was pretty even.
We're one decimal.
We're point.
If I known I could have done smaller margins, I probably would have, because some of them I couldn't quite.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry about that. Yeah, that makes sense.
The stuff I wrote for this one is just, it was like good vocals, great production, fun lyrics. I said the bridge is the best part.
Yeah, the bridge is very good. I love the use of vocal effects. There was lots of different, I believe he had a few times where it would be like the background vocals would come in with I think there was a vocoder in there.
I don't think it really stood out though in any way. Like, it's not going to be one of my...
It was not my favorite of the album, and we'll get more into them. You'll know when it's my
There was nothing wrong with it though.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a great song.
I think it had like a max potential and it hit it, but it was capped at that point, you know?
Yeah. It was a good song.
Should I reveal the second one? Should we go back and forth?
Sure. So keep in mind, everything we say here is just our opinion.
But it is factual.
Yeah, a factual opinion.
And if you disagree, you're wrong.
This is our objective opinion.
And my opinion is better than his.
I don't know about that one. Next
up, we've got Mad IQs, the second track off the album.
IQs was good.
I rated it 7 out of 10.
Hey, 7 out of 10!
All right.
Yeah.
So you want to go first?
I remember initially when we first saw that this album was coming out, because we were waiting for this album to come out.
Oh yeah, big fans.
And we read through each of the song names, a couple of them being released, some of the early releases. And you saw Mad IQs and said, "I'll bet that's going to be a good song." And I said,
"Sugar Pills," right?
No, I said Sugar Pills, but later I read The Gallows over and again. And it doesn't
matter. Yeah.
Anyways, what I was going to say is, after I heard you say Mad IQs, I was just like, I don't know. Ever since I heard the name, I was like, I don't know. I just didn't have a good feeling about it. And I mean, I didn't carry that bias through, but I mean, I liked the song, but not too much. What did you think about it?
So what I wrote down, because I can never really remember, that's why I have these notes to refresh me, is that it has some of the better lyrics on the album and another great bridge. But once again, I just felt like it was never going to be the best. It was good. I mean, 7 out of 10 is a good rating, but...
Yeah. What I really liked is I think it was the pre-chorus where he goes, "Die,
oh, yeah,
alive." I don't know how to say that. It was like a vocal riff that he did down right before he did the chorus.
Yeah. So far we're pretty even on the ratings.
So I mean, I gave this one a 7 out of 10. This is one of my favorite albums, and I gave this a 7 out of 10, and it was what was I gonna say? It's probably my least favorite out of the album.
Really? Least favorite?
Least favorite, I would have to say.
Hold on, let me just...
I mean, I did like it, keep in mind I like all the songs here, but
I'm not going to spoil, but I will bring up my least favorite song when it comes and ask what made you think it was better than this one. Okay, you reveal the next song.
Nobody likes an opening band.
Yep.
Now, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah. I really liked it because it was simplistic, it hit all the marks, and it was just piano and vocals.
Well, now I feel bad, dude.
What'd you give it?
Well, before I say anything, when this song came out, I mean, it came out like a year or two ago, the original. I loved it. It was my favorite song. I couldn't wait for it to come on the Spotify. And I still love it, but I was hoping they'd change it a little bit. I mean, I think
it was kind of a remake, but
yeah,
like a re-recording.
I rated it 8 out of 10.
You give it an 8 out of 10?
I mean, it's a good score, but compared to a 9, I'm kind of surprised you rated it.
No, I mean,
I felt like
I've
you
listened
didn't
to all
like
of
it
this a lot. No, I definitely. When you first showed it to me, it was a cryptic music video, and it wasn't all mastered and everything.
I love
this
the music video.
my music taste has changed a bit since then.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So I said it was very cute and clever. I always loved, it was lyrically it's very, and I said production-wise it's much simpler, and it's also shorter than most of the songs on the album. It kind of felt like an interlude to me, and that's why I couldn't rate it any higher than an 8. It was kind of an interlude feel. It
was simplistic. One other thing that I made note of is it was probably one of the more vocal challenging songs in the album. So I said that there may or may not in some parts, I'm not making a blanket statement here, may or may not in some parts have had a little bit of pitch correction. I don't know if it was auto-tune or if it was just like enough manually tuning the sound, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I'll have to ask my dad.
We'll have to ask Dallin when he comes and talks to us after this. All right. Do I read out the next one?
Yeah.
New Invention. I rated this 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
The funny thing is, well, what would you rank this like out of yours? Is it pretty high up there?
I would say it's in the top 5.
It's in my top 5 as well. But I feel like all of my rankings are like 0.5 lower than yours because
you're more of a
critical?
just more of a critical, more of a skeptical person.
Yeah.
Did you give any 10s?
No,
you did not. I did give some.
Okay, so yeah, I feel like on average I give 0.5 less than you do.
Perhaps I just you always see the room for improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
You're more
and plus I didn't limit it to this album only. I'm rating it like in the entire database of music.
In theirs, you mean?
No, everything ever written.
Yeah, well, I'm mainly just from the perspective of looking at it, but from this album. That's pretty much what I was.
Because I was thinking of all the other albums we're gonna review, and I wanted to leave that some room for that number 10 spot. 10 out of 10.
I again, this is one of my favorite albums. I had to give some 10s.
I mean, here's the thing: an 8.5 for me is a very high score. So don't think that I don't like this song. It's one of my favorite on the albums. I said one of my favorites from the album. It's written down right here. Favorite lyrically, great chorus. Like the chorus is insane.
Yeah. The chorus was.
I am just a new invention.
The chorus was a good idea. The other thing that he did that was good. There were a lot of good vocal effects. There was. I don't know. It was very perplexing with the sounds. I think that's what you liked. Your favorite thing was the robotic, ethereal soundscape that
that's my favorite soundscape.
He created a feeling.
Definitely.
In a song. The other thing is I would like to address is with the songs that we go over, I did score some pretty high, but there are going to be some songs in the future. I don't know about this album, but there are going to be some songs that we will trash relentlessly, and that's because our objective opinion is correct.
Well, we wanted to start with a band that we loved and an album that we loved, so don't think that we're going to be this easy on everyone. So,
the next one is From the Gallows. Now, this one, my first time listening through the entire album, when it released on, November 26th, October 23rd. That's what I meant to say. Not November. When it released, when I first listened through all the songs, even when it came down to the ones I had already heard, some of the ones like Razzmatazz and Leave Me Alone, it was my favorite. It was my favorite from that point. I immediately took a liking to it, even just from reading. I I mean, a gallow is the little stoop that they hang people on. It's just a great name.
The name is really good. The thing with me is that I didn't get introduced to it as well as you did.
Yeah.
And I'll explain that after you
I
give
gave
your
it a
rating.
10.
You gave it a 10.
It is my favorite out of the album. I had to give
I
it
don't
a
think
10.
you're going to be offended with the score I gave because it's good enough. It's an 8 out of 10.
Got an 8 out of 10? Okay, that makes sense.
So the first time that I listened to it, I was on the way to the Delta with my girlfriend and her mom. And I know that her mom probably didn't care about the lyrics, but I was kind of viewing it as if, like, you know,
she was listening to it, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was kind of like, oh gosh, these lyrics are a bit on the darker side.
Edgy.
I was kind of sweating, and I was like, oh, it's a bit edgy.
A bit raunchy.
Yeah, so I feel like since I was anxious the first time listening to it, it made me look at it too critically.
Kind of give you an impression, yeah.
But here's what I wrote. It said, it takes me back to the good old days of Brobacks. This song sounds the most like Brobacks out of anything on this album.
Do
you disagree?
I haven't thought about it enough to make an opinion, but yeah, just by thinking about that, yes.
And what else did I put? I said, with the lyrics and the chorus was very hard. This is the most rock and roll sounding song on the album, even though it only really goes rock and roll for about 2 seconds every chorus. It's good enough for me.
Some of my favorite lines, I feel like he kind of compared himself, not compared. He kind of said that he would do anything to like make her smile, to impress her, like in a dark way. Yeah. So he was like, for you I'd die or kill myself just to make you happy or just to make you smile.
Falsified good intentions.
Yeah, exactly. I also said one of my favorite lines was, carousel into my grave. Carousel into my grave. I love that one. It was written by Dallin Only, and the saxophone was good.
I love how they have a saxophone on this album. We are suckers for a saxophone.
One line that I was confused about was, I'll count all your teeth. I didn't quite understand. I didn't know if it meant because she was smiling or like
he was gonna steal
a
them.
mortician counting the teeth, or Caleb said they would steal her.
Maybe
teeth.
he's the tooth fairy.
Sometimes when somebody kills someone and wants to not be identifiable, they take the teeth.
I think he's a tooth fairy, you know, and he has to know how much money to pull out of the bank when he rips all the teeth out. Like 25 cents per teeth.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
Number 6, Cluster Hug.
Cluster Hug.
I rated that higher than From the Gallows.
What'd you give it?
8.5.
You gave it an 8.5.
Which is the same that I gave New Invention.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe it's just that I'm more emotionally attached.
I'm going to get some more water. You keep talking.
I've probably listened to it, like 20... No, more than that, like 30 times. I've probably heard each song about 30 times now. I don't know. That's just probably what I think.
So what did you rate it?
9.5 out of 10.
Wait, what did you rate The Gallows?
10.
Oh, okay. So
Cluster Hug was also one of my favorites. Definitely in my top 5. Probably secured the number 4 spot.
Cluster Hug?
Yeah. So I think it would
It's probably around the same for me.
Yeah. The one thing that we were very adamant about researching is it has the word quarantine in it. He says holy quarantine and then beautiful
Hold on,
quarantine.
can I just say something real quick? I've hated every song that came out that had anything to do with quarantine, any media whatsoever. So when I heard that lyric, I was extremely...
It put a bad taste in your mouth as it did mine. The thing is, I still love the song, so I told myself, and I mean, we talked about this a couple times.
Yeah.
I said, I really hope that this was written before 2020 or 2019.
Because otherwise it would be very cliche, kind of like feels like it's almost like begging for, oh wow, he talked about quarantine, relatable kind of, you know?
Yeah, like the arts are inspired by the pandemic. I can't stand that a little bit.
Yeah, well, it all started with, I probably shouldn't be taking shots right now, huh? But,
yeah, no. It doesn't matter.
There was a song that was released by a band that I liked that was about quarantine, and I didn't like it. And it was all over the radio because of it. But, moving on, I said, here's what I had to say.
No, not so fast. First I want to say, with Cluster Hug, we also looked up when it was released, and it was actually released through the old band,
Yes.
through Violent Things.
The
And
Blowbacks.
when we looked at it, he wrote it during, what's the album called?
It's
Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. Too Rare to Live, Too Weird to Die.
yes,
Something like-
and it was gonna be on that album, but it didn't end up fitting in that album.
Yeah.
But if he wrote Quarantine all the way back then, my respect
Yeah.
goes up.
I'm okay with it. So yeah, obviously this might be picky, but if he had written it in 2020, I definitely would have given it a different rating.
I would have probably brought it down a whole notch, a whole number.
Yeah, me too. I probably would have brought it down.
It's the little things that matter to me. Here's what I said about it. It sounds oddly like a Christmas song for a Halloween sounding album.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a Nightmare Before Christmas. You know what I mean?
type of
Yeah, and yeah. So
you mean a type of like
well, I
an
can't
overlap.
tell. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, an overlap exactly.
Mhm.
And I liked it though. It was really just a good song.
Yeah, it
8.5 is the tied with New Invention for the highest that I've rated so far. So New
Yeah.
Invention and Cluster Hugger racing it out right now.
Okay, so now you want to go with Sugar Pills? You want to go to the next one?
Yeah, I mean I don't have much to say about it. I ranked it 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I understand that. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, typical me giving it a whole point above Caleb.
Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like parts of the song, like leading into the chorus, were very vocally demanding. I really liked that. I really liked the really high-pitched sounds. I like how, I mean, he's talking about sugar pills.
I like the lyrics, yeah.
This is my opinion. I think that he's comparing the pills to girls. I think he's
To women.
yeah, exactly. Like, because he says, I take 1 to make me feel better. I take 2 despite any direction. 3, 4, 5 just for the hell of it. 7, 8, 9, 10 starting to lose count again.
But Miles, what can you tell people about sugar pills? They don't do anything.
Oh yeah, that's true. They don't do anything. As we've
We've
found
established.
out.
We've established that.
Yeah, I agree. Sugar pills. What did
I said-
I said it sounded pop.
I didn't like the chorus at all.
Yeah, the chorus was very simple, but I liked the vocal part of it.
I understand that it was kind of instrumental, kind of like, you know, it's different, but it just wasn't for me, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then he also from the idea of sugar pills, I like that he said pseudoscientific. That was one of my favorite lines.
He has a lot of cool words. He finds words.
Do you know what
and he uses them.
pseudoscientific means?
No.
It means it's like not a real science. It's like not considered a science because it's like
Oh.
astrology or palm reading or something like that. It's like people say it's a science, but it's not.
Gotta love astrology, right?
Yeah, gotta love it.
All right. Next up, we've got Kiss Goodnight.
Kiss Goodnight. Okay.
You're coming up with the rating
Yeah.
first.
So I said Kiss Goodnight was a 9 out of 10. I really liked it. It was one of my favorites. Good vibrato in it. I don't know why I wrote that, but I mean,
Guess there was some good vibrato in there.
yeah, I don't remember specifically what I was talking about. I love where he says "thief of the year." That line.
I don't even remember that, but yeah, it was
he goes,
good.
"Oh, what do we have here? The thief of the year.
Oh yeah.
Steal every boy's heart." Something
What did
like
you
that.
say you ranked it? 9?
I gave it a 9 out of 10. Yeah,
Alright.
that was one of my favorites.
What do you think I gave it? I just want you to get
An 8 out of 10.
8.5.
Okay, that's good.
So, what I wrote down was I love most of it, but some of the lyrics were a little cliche. Some of them I didn't like it as much. It was very retro though. It was like the most retro sounding song on there.
It was.
I didn't.
very good for
I
that
didn't
sense.
like the line "Girls Like You." It reminded me of the Maroon 5 song, which was like "Girls like you, shut up with guys like," and it's like "Girls like you," and I was like, "Where's he going with this? You know, is he about to say a cliche or something?"
Yeah.
Some of the lyrics, I was just kind of like, it feels like it's appealing to a different audience than me per se.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I like how, but I mean, after that.
After that, it was
No.
sales.
But like the way he said, I know that girls like you. They don't come with guarantees. That was what I liked. They don't come with guarantees part.
Yeah.
Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The last thing that I wrote down was, he's more romantic than I am.
That's all you're gonna say?
I feel like you're also more romantic than I am, so I feel like you and Dallin can kind of same wavelength.
Okay, dude.
Some of the lines are just like a little bit too mushy for me.
Now this next one is gonna be. I'm guessing this next one. You can go on this one. I'm guessing this next one is your least favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
it was my least favorite from the moment I listened to it. 6.5 out of 10.
You're being generous. I give it a 6.
What,
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Well, you said a different one was your least favorite, remember? You said Mad IQ's one.
Well, yeah, no. See, the difference is I gave Mad IQ's a 7 and Lights Go Down a 6. Because Lights Go Down is a song that I get stuck in my head. And I don't like the chorus, but the rest of it I like. I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I really didn't like the chorus, and the chorus should be strong in a song.
Yeah, I said...
Mad IQ's was good all around. It didn't have any specific weak point as Lights Go Down. So that's why I gave them different scores to them not being my,
I said really had potential. I had more potential than Mad IQ, but the chorus wasn't where I wanted it to go. I mean, it was just they repeated the same line over and over again with the chords that weren't really special or anything. So
after I think the second to last chorus, we had some more saxophone in there. That was
you can never go wrong with the saxophone.
Yeah, there was more saxophone in that one. Also, there was he did some cool like background vocal effects with a pitch shifter, I think it was.
But that chorus though, man.
I think there was there was definitely a vocoder. Captivated by that part.
The chorus was damaging.
The chorus was one line over and over again.
Which I mean, there are other songs that do that ish, not as much.
But
they it's just it wasn't.
I didn't.
It felt like he was trying to write like the '80s song that everyone danced to. It was like a worse version of Kiss Goodnight or something, you know? Like it tried to keep the same energy and just couldn't.
Yeah. I want to say it was more pop sounding in that sense, that it was very like the chorus was very trying to be, what am I trying to say? It's trying to please the audience by being simple.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I just imagined like going to homecoming in the 80s and that song playing, which is a cool feeling, but at the same time I felt like it was trying too hard to feel like that, you know? Like it was trying to get into my mind. All
Sometimes you go too specific into an idea or metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Need You Here. You can read that one out first.
Need You Here, I said 8 out of 10.
Okay.
So this one, I don't know exactly a lot about it. If I had to guess, I think he wrote it if he has kids. Does he have kids?
He's got to have kids, otherwise it'd be weird if he wrote it.
Yeah.
I saw a video where he was saying he's proud of his daughter or something.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he has kids, that's why.
Or a kid, yes, daughter of some sort.
So,
did she actually sing, or was that someone else? Because I know she did the little talking part, but was she the girl that was singing at that one part?
Where do you go? That part? I actually don't know. It could have been her, it could have been a voice actor, it could have been him. It had effects on it. It was too
hard to tell.
Vague.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
So you rated it 8 out of 10?
Yes.
I rated it 7 out of 10.
I understand.
I said touching lyrics. I love the duet part. I always love a good duet. Like of Monsters of Men, Little Talks.
Now I can't name a good duet.
No, of Monsters of Men, Little Talks is the best duet I've ever heard.
Okay.
I'll play it for you after. It's in my top 50.
Well, no, I know the song. Not very well, but I know the song.
His daughter talking was cute, but something I dread every time I listen to a song after the first time. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about any part where if there's a part where, like, there's a 30-second talking part, the first time I'm like, oh, that's so moving. And then, like, the 10th time, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that again. Especially when I'm showing someone the song, I get, like, secondhand embarrassment. But it was short. It was very short. It wasn't like a 30-second thing. It was like 5 seconds.
I can agree with you, yeah. You mean the sometimes...
Yeah.
And then Dad makes me happy.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. The mushy stuff makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. So then the next song, the last two we're leading out with strong numbers on my side. I don't know about you. Strong numbers?
Yeah, strong numbers.
I feel like the way you said and indicated that your numbers were not as strong as mine.
You could say that.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So the next one is Door. Door is one of my favorites.
Oh, wait, let me guess what you rated it.
So in Kiss Goodnight, one second. In Kiss Goodnight, he says, "I promise I'll be a gentleman, or you can show me the door."
Oh, you're seeing like a connection.
That was in my opinion, just from listening to it over and over again in a line. Sometimes they shuffle near each other. That hinted at Door, I think, later in the album.
Like the same song, maybe.
It kind of like connected the two a little bit. I don't think they're the same song. The only problem was it was around a minute and 32 seconds. Now, a minute and 32 seconds for the song, it was one of my favorites, and it was only a minute and 2:30 seconds. Now, one of my other favorites from the Gallows was 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
And that gave
that
you
was
enough.
Also.
It gave you enough.
I wish it was longer. I wish they were all longer. I wish there was more content.
That's
but
true. The
we're
longest song is...
We're always going to be wishing for more. Razzmatazz is the longest.
Yeah, that one's pretty long.
4:18. Yeah, because of the sax parts. Anyways, Door, quality song. I wish it was longer. But the vocals in it are very good. It's very warm, spirited.
You rated it 9.7.
I'll let you talk about it for a second before we reveal the ratings. I think it's going to be a little bit of a surprise. Okay. Do you have anything to say about the song before we go to the ratings?
No, I want to say it after the ratings.
Okay. I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Well, okay. It wasn't... I
love it, bro.
I didn't know if it was going to be higher from the Gallows. Yep. That's why I rated 9.7. Like,
the thing is that I feel like because it was so short, there was nothing for me to criticize.
I differ with that, actually.
Because it was short enough. It was almost like a demo. But the thing is, I liked all of it. And because I liked all of it, I gave it a 10 out of 10. And by saying it wasn't long enough to dignify giving it a smaller number, that the content the song was created at that length. Me complaining about not having more, I'm rating that amount, not like.
That's not affecting the rating, how short it is. It's just a side complaint.
Yeah,
a side complaint.
It's just a side complaint.
I rated it 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, really?
Okay, here's the thing.
Door, you had to do that to my. That's number 2 on my list.
Okay,
that is number 2 on my list.
I said it was short but sweet. But here's the thing. It felt like he was trying too hard to convince us he's a gentleman, and now I'm convinced that he's a serial killer. He kept talking about like
Joe Goldberg.
Oh, if I go too far, just
it was almost cynical. Oh,
there's a few times on the album where it felt like he was trying so hard to be like, oh, if I even do one thing, just
because
I'm such a gentleman. If I overstep, just push me out the door. And I'm like, this guy, you're gonna invite him in, and you're gonna think he's a gentleman, and then he's gonna kill you.
That's so outlandish. You gotta listen to the music.
I'm not saying Dallin would do that. I'm saying, but these songs, the character in these songs,
the character in the songs. Okay.
Because he's like, oh well, if I take one step.
So if I had to, my top 5, I would say From the Gallows, Door, Razzmatazz, the last one, Cluster Hug, and then
Cluster Hug is that high?
Cluster Hug is number 4, and then New Invention.
Yeah. Okay. So
and then Kiss Goodnight. And then, I don't know, Nobody Likes an Opening Band next, I think. The last ones are kind of
I thought you were going to say something like Nobody Likes Lights Go Down or something when you started saying that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, the last song. Number 12, Razzmatazz. I'll let you go first.
So, obviously, the album is called Razzmatazz. When you name an album after a song, it's gotta be the best song, right?
And if it's not, there's issues.
But let's be honest, it came out a few weeks before the song did. What did you send it to me on like the 10th or something? It was something like that.
It was a good
I would
enough
have to be
amount of time,
scrolling for hours to find it, but I believe it was around that time. It was a couple weeks before, and I listened to this song so many times before the album released in anticipation for the album. It's one of my favorites, and I had to go with a 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Just because this is the baseline for me. This is one of my favorite albums. And you might think, oh, Miles is rating it too high.
No. I mean, maybe
I really don't want to be not cynical enough, but I'm definitely not a cynic. So I'm going to this is my baseline of some of the highest songs I'm going to be rating.
What? You like this album more than I do, and
Yeah.
therefore I think it's appropriate for you to rate it how you did, because this isn't my favorite album. It's one of my favorite albums. I rated it lower than you.
What'd you give it?
9.5.
Okay, yeah.
Which is my highest rating.
Sense. Yeah.
So here's the thing: me and Miles, we listened to the song and just there was a connect. I don't think me and you have ever listened to a song and both liked it the same amount.
The same, not just amount, but the same. You know, the time lines up, and
he knew if he turned
we were
it
thinking
on,
the same things. Yeah.
He knew if he turned it in the car that I would be ready to just sing it out, and I knew if I turned it on anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
I know that he would be happy about it too. We didn't have to worry that the other person had gotten sick of it.
And the other thing is, after listening to this song and this album, even this song alone makes us want to try the Jamba Juice Razzmatazz.
Yes.
And I haven't even had it. I can't even remember. I can't remember if it's good or not. But I want to drink it because of the song.
And
I don't know what the specific
flavor is.
No, I mean what the specific meaning of the name is.
Razzmatazz is kind of like pizzazz, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe something
like
maybe like something magical, kind of like
maybe he's saying like
I don't know.
Like it's something he's like saying like I don't know. I'm blank.
Hold on. Let me just
say it from that. But I love the saxophone. Yeah.
Another
One of
term
my
for
favorites.
razzle dazzle. So kind of like
Razzle dazzle. Give me the razzmatazz. Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense, like some sparkles and unicorns. That's what I was thinking. It meant.
I was thinking kind of like a magician with the white rabbit, like the razzmatazz.
Like charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said my favorite. I said great choir.
This
lyrics.
was your number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great
That's good,
choir,
that's fair.
lyrics, sax solo, production, vocals, effects. I mean, it just hit every box for me.
Yeah, definitely. The leading, the saxophone. I don't know why I said leading. The saxophone that came in, faded out, and then came in again.
It came back for more. It knew we wanted more.
Yeah.
It just came
And
back in and
when
we
the
were like,
sax was too short. I remember the first time I listened to it, I was like, hold on, I think it was a baritone sax, right?
we're not exactly sax experts.
Yeah, it's really low. Yeah, but anyways, the first time I listened to it, the sax went away and then he started singing again. I was like, I want to hear more of the singing, but like, I really like the saxophone.
Yeah.
We even took this into consideration as when we were writing recently and producing recently. We even
Our recent song was
thought
very
about it,
heavily
yeah.
influenced.
influenced,
We brought in
inspired a little bit.
sax for our song because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we always are looking for a chance to put saxophone in a song, but I think that's what pushed us over the edge.
Yeah, because we're constantly chasing something. We both of us, we get into something right now. This is one of the things we are into, but we pick inspiration.
We are junkies after all.
We can never get enough of it. Anyways, yeah. Speaking of which,
So
if you listen to this album, you like this album, or if you haven't even listened to the album, I definitely suggest that you listen to it. Caleb, do you have anything to say?
you keep
want
talking
average?
because I'm gonna be you
You're
start
gonna be
averaging.
I actually put mine on the list for you. Definitely, if you have a chance, or if you haven't already, please go and listen to our song. We spent a lot of time. I think it totaled to about 115 hours in the studio, and I believe we finished it like right before or right around the same time as the whole album came out. So it was pretty much partially influenced by Razzmatazz. It was pre-written a little bit, and then we brought it back from an old demo that Caleb made. He originally wrote the starting part, and then we kind of played with the chorus. We
didn't even have a chorus
originally it was going to be like 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and then we cut it down to about 3 minutes, right?
The night that we
Yeah. At some point, the last part was giving us trouble, so we ended up cutting it down. Eventually, there will be an extended version coming out whenever our album or EP or something gets out there. But anything else you would like to say about...
My calculator glitched right when I finished.
Another thing we did is we tried to find interviews. We tried to find some lyrical analysis behind some of these songs, and we couldn't really find anything. I don't know if the album's just not popular enough. I definitely think it deserves to be more popular than it is.
Oh yeah.
Recently, I know Caleb's been working on some. He's had some things in the works at his house on his computer, but recently I have been playing with a demo that I made a while ago, and it's going to be mainly, I think, piano and vocal piece, but it's, I don't know how to describe it yet. It's called, I haven't actually came with the name yet. I have an idea for the name, but I don't want to reveal it. But I'm learning how to play the piano part. I think I'm just going to have Caleb learn how to do the piano part because I can't really do it very well. But yeah, I think that'll probably be one of the next things that we release. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for, we'll definitely be making some videos. We're going to try and do at least one a month, is what we settled on, right, Caleb?
For album reviews?
Yeah, at least a video. It's probably mostly going to be album reviews. If not, we'll find something else to replace it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Be sure to, if you enjoyed this, or, I mean, even if you made it through the whole video,
which probably,
props to you. Probably you didn't. I don't know who is going to watch all of this. If you enjoy our content and you watch this whole video, please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. If you've invested, so far it's 40 minutes of your time into
Is that how long this video is?
This video is so far 40 minutes. Oh. So that's pretty good. We kind of got carried away a little bit, yeah.
So, my rating...
Done with the quick math?
I'm bad with calculators, dude. I should have finished like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, what did you get?
My rating was 7.9.
Your average, okay.
Yours was 8.6. So this album is an 8.3.
Ooh,
I feel like that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty good.
I mean, when you're considering every single track is being ranked here, and
there are only a couple of albums, sorry to interrupt you, that are going to be higher than that album when it comes to the two of us arguing. One of them is going to be Vices. Probably.
Definitely.
I don't know. If you have an idea of an artist that you want us to listen to, something that you think that we would like, or that we should do a critique on, please leave a comment, something in the description.